Geeks! We're back with another Walking Dead review. This time we're reviewing The Walking Dead Season 7, Episodes 9 and 10, titled Rockin' the Road and New Best Friends.
And if you haven't seen the episodes yet, you're going to want to skip this video because this is your spoiler warning.
Now, we've been really hard on The Walking Dead Season 7 so far, but I really liked these two episodes. And I don't know if it's because it's coming back from the hiatus and we didn't get to see these two episodes until this last couple of days, and we haven't watched any television because we've been in Italy, and maybe we're just coming at it fresh. I think maybe we were suffering from some Walking Dead overload, maybe a little bit of burnout, and maybe coming back from the hiatus really kind of refreshed us. I don't know. But I really enjoyed these two episodes, and also we knew one of the people.
Yeah, we knew an extra
from the new group, which I guess we're calling the Scavengers. From what I hear, we know one of the recurring extras, so that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, that probably helped overhype both of these episodes for us.
But you know what? I really like this new group. I think it's really cool. They live in a garbage dump, and the leader, Jadis, she says they've been there from the beginning, which to me I think probably means they were homeless people who were living in the dump and they've just never really left. They stayed together as a unit, which maybe could be the reason why their vocabulary is so limited. They speak in very incomplete sentences.
Yeah, and that's really the only reason why somebody would go to a dump right away. Like, right at the turn, your first thought isn't like, hey, let's hide out at the dump.
They've been there from the start, and they were probably homeless people before the fall. But this new group is freaking cool as shit. They've got the zombie that they had with the spikes.
The gladiator zombie.
Which is really, I mean, it seems like something that would have come out of Z Nation, which is awesome. I'm glad The Walking Dead is doing some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think, and then the episode before this, episode 9, Rockin' the Road, with the walker cable, and they just drove through it and took down a bunch. I'm like,
that was awesome.
That's something you would see in Z Nation as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, they're doing fun stuff. This is awesome. I love it.
And I think this episode was so great because we finally had Daryl and Carol reunion, and we just love Daryl and Carol.
Yeah.
So,
and,
yeah.
You know, at first I was a little surprised that he didn't tell her about Glenn and Abraham, but then I'm like, you know what? No, I think he understands where she's coming from, or at least if he doesn't really understand it, he doesn't.
He respects it.
He respects her, and he doesn't want to rob her of what she has. Like, she seems like she's in a pretty good place, and he doesn't want to take that away from her.
Yeah.
And I can respect that coming from Daryl.
Yeah, and I do think he understands. I think he understands that she is afraid that if she goes after them with them and she does that killing, that she's not coming back from that, and that's what she's afraid of. And I think he gets that, and he doesn't want her to not come back from that. He wants her to remain Carol.
Yeah. And Daryl got a new crossbow, which is awesome. I mean, I think for the first half of the season, Daryl was kind of a beaten man. And I think now he's all the way back. He's got a crossbow. He beat the shit out of Richard. Like, Richard, he's like, this person might have to die, and Daryl figures out that it's Carol, and dude, Richard's
he was
lucky.
Like, no.
Richard's lucky he got out of that alive.
Although I don't think it would have mattered who the person was.
I don't think Daryl was.
Yeah, I think Daryl was pissed. Like, you're gonna possibly kill somebody to get your way. That's fucked up.
Yeah, like I don't think Daryl would have gone along with the plan. But I think the fact that he figured out that it was Carol, that's why Richard got the beatdown.
Yeah.
Also, in episode 9, Rick finally met Ezekiel and Shiva, and I really like that scene how Jesus didn't tell them about Shiva, so when they walked into the amphitheater, they were all standing at the back, and he's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about the tiger, didn't I? And they're like, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny, and I liked how Rick's response to Ezekiel, because Ezekiel is a very over-the-top character. He's basically role-playing a king.
Yeah.
And Rick, his response wasn't to ridicule him. He's
No.
like, let me play along with this more or less.
Well, I think Rick was able to, like, they came into the community first before meeting him. So, like, I think he was able to look around and be like, regardless of how ridiculous this is that he's pretending to be a king, he has this community that he set up and he is running efficiently, and it's pretty amazing, and we need his help. You can't ridicule him because he chooses to pretend he's a king.
Like, Carol played along because it was part of her game in order to get out. And then when she finally did talk to Ezekiel, she's like, you're ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is absurd. And Rick, I'm sure in the back of his head, he's like, okay, this guy's bonkers. But he's not going to call him out on it.
No, because
which is
he's
the
got it.
right move.
Yeah, because he has a successfully running community, and the people are happy. That's the other thing, is the people in the community are genuinely happy.
I do think the character of Ezekiel, the way it's almost a direct translation, well, it pretty much is a direct translation from the comic book to the show. And I think that's a really hard transition to make. And they're doing a pretty darn good job of it so far.
Yeah, like, when you read it in the comics, it's a little ridiculous. But
it works because it's a comic.
Yeah, exactly. And going to screen, I was like, how are they going to do this without it being utterly ridiculous? And they're managing it.
Yeah.
King Ezekiel's one of the better parts of the show right now. They're doing it fantastic.
And I love Shiva. I think the tiger effect is awesome. And I really like the scene where Daryl was just kind of chilling outside the cage looking at Shiva. And he's like, a guy who has a pet tiger is probably not all bad. And then he kind of reaches out and pets Shiva a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you know what? If anybody's going to bond with Shiva
Of course it's Daryl.
other
Yeah.
than Ezekiel, it's obviously going to be Daryl.
Yeah.
One of the things that did kind of bum me out a little bit, though, is Daryl has left the Hilltop by the end of episode 10, and he's going back to Hilltop, which I think is a mistake.
Yeah,
I think he should have stayed at the Kingdom.
I feel like that was a really poor decision, and like I feel like he's not that dumb. Like it doesn't seem like that's something Daryl would do. Like he knows that they're not ready to go after the Saviors yet, so why would he put himself out there and potentially start this war before they are ready for it? I
think the fact that Richard was prepared to sacrifice Carol in order to get this war started, I think that turned him off.
Yeah.
And maybe that, he's like, you know what, I can't be around these people. They're not exactly my people. And Rick left Daryl at the Kingdom, A, to protect him, because if he gets found, they're going to kill him. And B, specifically to convince King Ezekiel that the only way things are going to get better at all is to unite and resist against Negan and go to war. And the fact that Daryl left before he even gave it a really good shot.
Not only that, but you would think that Daryl would want to stay there and keep an eye on Richard to make sure he doesn't do something stupid and get Carol killed.
I'm going to chalk it up to Daryl being a little hot-headed right now, and the fact that he's so pissed off at Richard, and he needs to go to war. He's the reason Glenn died. I think he still feels that guilt, and I think he needs this war. And I think that's probably getting to him and affecting his judgment. Overall, like I said, I really liked these 2 episodes. I think they might be my favorite 2 episodes of Season 7.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So I think that's pretty much all we have to say about these 2 episodes. If we missed anything or you have anything to add, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please tell us by dropping a like on it and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.